Hi you guys, here we are again, extended for this morning's video, which was called There is a Field, I'll Meet You There. Great read. There were a few cards left over that we never got to, and I think it's important to get there now. Rue came and went nuts. I had some Palo Santo out, and it's still burning a little bit. She loves the smell. That was weird. I guess it was a bit of ash. It's a neuro activator for cats, certain smells, and you have to be careful because they can get overwhelmed. She started just rolling around, knocked the cards all over the place. So I don't have the original spread, but we can refer back to it. Yeah, it was a great read. So here we go. And the first one I'm looking at is the Judgment card. The card of second chances, reconciliation, forgiveness, new life. After a complete ending, a kind of scorpionic death card, this is the resurrection. The next one out. Wow! Tower. Two major arcana right in a row. Well, there could have been an event, just some life-changing thing that knocked you or somebody else out of their, out of their comfort zone isn't quite enough, but, really something that shook somebody to their foundations. And Tower card is always freeing you from, the foundation was rotty already. It was like a house with bad sills. The whole structure couldn't be supported. It's almost like the vibrations from the Gabriel's horn, that heavenly vibration that is purifying and liberating. It cracks. She's back for more Palo Santo. It cracks the shell. It's the crack in the cosmic egg, that idea. And it releases, almost like a inferno of energy. These guys are getting blasted right out of the tower. And it's a liberation. It involves two people. Two people primarily impacted by whatever this epiphany or I think it was an event, and I think it may have had to do with a literal house. And maybe it's just a move, a physical move that's very impactful. I hate that word. Boom, and where you lived, you can't live anymore. But it's actually a liberation, a second chance. There was something so done with this situation. A kind of death, a kind of vacancy at the center. Five of Wands. It's almost like this struggle was undermining the stability of this situation, this living situation, or, because there was conflict between the people living there. They just couldn't agree pretty much on anything. Like a family in conflict, or really a bad group of friends who were living together, or bad roommates. But again, this is the tower comes down so that there can be new life. Ace of Wands, new life, new life. After the decimation of the old thing, And it might be that this thing, this conflict of energies came out after the old place went down. Could have been both cause and effect somehow. But out of Five of Wands struggle comes Ace of Wands, new beginning. It may be that somebody prevailed, some individual. Aces speak to the individual person. They won. They came out more empowered. They may have busted this thing wide open. It was unstable already, but there was this agitation. And then one person I hate to say it, but it's like the death blow. But I mean, what's on the board is new life. The death is to the structure of something. Might be a literal house. I'm not sure. Clarify Tower, please. Hangman. Tower I see is Scorpio. Hangman is Pisces. So whatever this is really had to do with emotion and transformation. And I think we had this in the last reading. I hope I didn't pick up the wrong pile of cards. I don't think I did. Here is we're getting repeats all over the place. So I'm just going to keep going. If this is the old, this will remind us where we were. This is a card of healing. Healing of, the emotions. First, you have to feel them all the way through. You can't do anything till you felt them. You're kind of in a suspended animation. The suspended animation, Four of Swords. Not acting on it, not talking about it. In retreat. In order to process emotions. And after this kind of emotional explosion, this is Scorpio energy as I read it. I think that's how it goes. I'm not sure. Let's keep going. On Ace of Wands, we have the wheel. The karmic wheel. Something's really taken a turn and it's created this new perspective. It's flipped the script somehow. Those that were on the bottom are now on the top. There's been an exchange of positions. It's almost like this is a power struggle. Because the old order no longer was intact. On Four of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, this person's intact. The walls may have come down all around them. They may have just lost their home or some dramatic event that changed their life, but changed it for the better. They come out confident and, able to co-create with the universe the new life. They couldn't have risen up out of it's almost like this blew up and the coffins popped open. Blew his horn and it's like a tape loop. It's like a Mobius strip where you can't figure out cause and effect. There was some angelic wake-up call, and the vibrations of that just took the tower down. And at first there was chaos. It's almost like, when you kick an anthill and all the ants go nuts trying to, pick up the antibodies, and I mean, it really could, I've never read this before, but there could have been some kind of real shakeup that uprooted people. And now I'm seeing this as almost like people trying to do a search and rescue, but everybody's going in a different direction. There's chaos. And I think we had this in the last reading, so maybe it is the same bunch of cards, but it's a disruption and a chaos that's productive. Sensitive chaos, that idea that there was a book called Sensitive Chaos, it was great. You look at something that appears to have no order, rhyme, or reason, like the pattern of smoke, or something's fallen into the water and the pattern of the ripples. It's an actual intelligence in the chaos. Because it's really a karmic shakeup. It's almost like everybody will end up in the right place after this event. If somebody did lose their home, their physical home, they will end up in a better, if somebody got evicted, or it could be like two people separated, these two people coming out the window. The structure of their lives, their emotional lives went to hell in a handbasket. And there is something like torturous about this, with the flames coming out of the window, and it was something that felt really random, but it was actually part of a pattern, a karmic destiny. This is almost like the labyrinth. Finding the path through, the karmic path through. Intuition being the principal guide. Wands are intuitive energy. This is like, I don't know, this is, I think, a well-intentioned response on the part of a group of people to whatever this breakdown was. Breakdown, breakthrough. This group of people thought it was a disaster. They didn't understand it was a liberation. And weirdly enough, I think these two felt that it was a liberation. That it was a transformative energy that, like, boom, freed them from essentially a prison. This is a place with no way in, no way out, except getting blown out. It's like no windows, no doors, it's unreachable. So something happened, and in the light, it could be an epiphany, because this is sort of, strikes me as, the thing that illuminates. It's also kind of the fire starter. Somebody may have wanted out because this is about desire and passion and purpose. Somebody may have, it's the individual, may have wanted out of this situation. And other people objected or felt like they had to clean up a mess or something like that, that Five of Wands energy. Like dig through the rubble, search and rescue. But it's a liberation, an emotional liberation, Scorpio, Pisces, water energy, to do with feelings. It advanced the cause. It landed, once these people were out of this situation, blown out, and once they landed in the right place, in the proper position to move forward. There was something in this that was like regressive. It was falling, it was imploding, it was falling back on itself. Almost like a black hole. It was collapsing inward. Okay, let's give it a shuffle or two. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana. That's a lot of big energies. That's this kind of energy. It's almost like a, if you mix certain elements together and shake them and they go boom. Volatile situation. One more. All right. Oh, it doesn't like the... Okay. It's something like I just got, with the weird shuffle, like an image of somebody lit the fuse. And at first it didn't seem as if it was going to go boom, like there was it seemed like it wasn't going to happen. A time delay kind of thing. This is the wake-up call. Saying it's happening now. Tower is very much a now energy. A long fuse. In those cartoons where you see the fuse and the sparks going along, and then it seems to go out, and then something reignites it. And that has something to do with the second chance. This is a strange reading. On the new life, that's weird. Thank you. On that Wands energy level, it's successful. Something was reignited after a period of time. And then the thing that was needed to come down came down. And it created upset, Five of Wands. But the end was achieved, and the end, the purpose of it all was to win a new life. It might be that the rescue mission, search and rescue, was successful. What's that search and rescue business, the Five of... Okay. Wake-up call. Four of Cups. It can be a kind of a depression or torpor, a feeling that makes us feel drugged and dopey. Nine of Wands. Somebody's... Okay. Somebody's... the struggle has been, it took a while for the fuse to go. Then there's the boom. Then there's the scramble to kind of put it back together. And that part is exhausting. And this indicates a pattern. So it might be that it was, people tried to reconstruct it exactly the same. Like they went back into the situation and tried to fix it. Tried to fix it. Gather up the bits and pieces and put it back together. And that was exhausting. And it seems like it was successful, but I think what was successful was this second chance. Like, don't build it back the same way. Don't follow the same pattern. The instruction is to find the new way to do it. One's energy, do it. Break the pattern. And this almost says the same thing. Break the pattern. The Nine of Wands. You know, doing it, trying it the same way again and again and again. So a new way is attempted, a very creative, reimagining one's life, this new life aspect, reimagining it, one's energy, in a much better, more fluid way that the universe can cooperate with you once you've done that. I think it's with you because of that Ace of Wands eye card. So we have Four of Swords twice now. And a card of the future. We've brought down the structure. We've struggled over whether or not to build it in the same way. And victory goes to the new way. Judgment card, the new life, the new structure. And it's all about emotion and intent. Somebody lit the fuse. Like a delayed timer. The fuse. And then there was the delay. This card can be a card of suspension. Almost like here of suspense. But nothing we can do about it now. Except understand it, feel it all the way through, get a new perspective. Again, that new energy. New way, new path, new perspective, new life. Somebody manifested this, somebody lit the fuse. And in future, they can look forward to, because they've healed, it's almost like they've healed a situation, now they have a future. But the old way had to be completely, like no opportunity to rebuild. That would have just put us back into some kind of a loop where we never advance. We do it the new way, we advance. I think there may be somebody may be literally moving. We've gotten that a bunch lately. It wasn't entirely voluntary, but it was very much landed both people who were blown out of this tower in a better place. Okay. In a better place, Ten of Pentacles. Pentacles can speak to real estate, to a situation that's really, because Pentacles are what's real, what's valuable. This is something valuable to the whole group, to the family, to the stability of life, making a place for oneself. In the future, the effort started to go into rebuilding it the same way. It didn't work because it was an old pattern. Now in future, there will be a new way to rebuild. And again, this thing of real estate, because this could be land, property, somebody has an intention to, they're waiting, they've got expectations that this is what will come in. And I don't know if it's wealth or land or a place. It's terra firma somehow. Like it's no longer being at sea. 3 of Wands shows somebody looking out to the ocean. It's the place you can land after you've been blown out of the old place. Okay. There's a card now of 7 of Cups, which we saw last time too. There's a moment where everybody's dazed. There will have to be a recovery time twice over, 4 of Swords. And an epiphany like this, a change like this, can be like addling. It's, the bugs, the ants running around. Confused. Feeling like they can't go on. Somebody, 9 card personal, I can't go on. And they don't, because there's a real change for the better. I think this is the last card. Okay, Page of Pentacles. This is like the building block. Some offer being made, some lesson that's been learned that changes one's life. And it's like a little at a time we build this. You can't get back to 10 of Pentacles in an instant. It takes time, Pentacles energy, and effort. Somebody's presenting the idea that this can happen. It can happen in the future. I've manifested this. I lit the fuse. And it changed not only my life, but your life. I mean, this is a card of the stable, unmarried individual. This may be some kind of a breakup of a relationship. It's in Cups energy and feelings energy. And maybe then both parties had to heal by themselves, had to heal their own confidence, their own stability, because whatever was happening where they lived was, bound to collapse. The structure was not sound. Now there's an opportunity. Somebody's providing help or something concrete toward this new home, perhaps. And it may be that they're, slowly saving up the resources to do something like that, to build a house, to rebuild a life. Pentacles speak, it can be real estate, property, money, anything in 3D, sorry. But I really get the feeling of home and land, and somebody's manifested this. They lit the fuse. We have on the board Wheel of Fortune, which is all the fixed signs. We have judgment, which doesn't have a particular, it's got, I'm sure, a planetary reference, no astrological this sign or that sign reference, which I like because it's sort of like the slate was wiped clean, Tower. Who are we this time? It's very much, I mean, this can speak to destiny, but it's like discovering the brand new destiny. It's not what you thought it was. You know, you, in all this feelings energy, Scorpio, Pisces, you weren't sure of the options. Somebody wasn't, and I think somebody may have chosen the old way and tried to make it work, tried to like piece the broken pieces back together. Humpty Dumpty, all the king's horses and all the king, you know, putting this situation back together again, and it shouldn't be put back together because there's a new path, a new karmic path. And I think the healing will involve each person that is blown out of this tower rebuilding their life for themselves, healing themselves. Healing twice over. Both parties, but not together. I think there will be both people rebuilding with somebody else. You know, and there will be a lot of options. It's kind of like the pieces will fall into place. You know, everything will be rearranged in a way that everybody gets to move forward. And the rebuilding will happen in baby steps. But over the time that's left for these two people, not the same two people. It could be the whole thing a reconciliation. You know, this partnership blew up. There was chaos. There was an attempt to rebuild it in the exact same way, in this pattern, almost like the blueprint of the house, metaphorically speaking. But it flipped the script. It changed everything. Each party got confident again and grounded in their own life. That was the most important part of the healing, because you don't do this in company. This is a card of isolation, of like, you know, going into it could be going into the hospital, but it's, I don't get that vibe off it, but it's really into a kind of retreat after a really shocking breakdown of some kind. It might be a mental, you know, just healing up after the explosion. There might be some kind of PTSD involved, because it was loud when it went. It caused this kind of dazed, where am I feeling? Great confusion. But shortly, 3 days, 3 weeks, it will begin to come back together, starting with a baby step of some sort. The lesson one's learned about how to build it back, Page of Pentacles, in a new way. Having learned some kind of lesson, a lesson that, you know, does this, brings new life, brings good fortune, brings change, brings a new perspective in the realm of feelings. There are choices here on how to rebuild. The only caution is don't try to rebuild it the same way. And that might mean repeating the same pattern with the next person, or trying to reconcile and rebuild a relationship following the blueprint of the failed relationship, or to start fresh with somebody else that's more in alignment with your karmic path. You'll know it when you see it. And now you're already kind of seeing it from a distance. It's possible this somebody you know and care about may have undergone some kind of, event, something where their life blew apart. And you might be offering them some hope, that they can come to safe harbor, that you're holding space for them somehow, even physical space. And ultimately, you may be combining your resources to build your own place. I don't think it's the same person, because there's new all over this. The new life is the victorious way. It's what will make us feel good and proud and alive. This was kind of, whatever was happening here may have been dead in the water. And, excuse me, wow, explosion. Dead in the water. But Scorpio energy coming back to life. This is a card of suspension. A little bit of dead in the water. It's a water sign, Pisces. And it's not really dead. It comes back to life. You come back to life. Let's come back to life. I think that's good counsel. It's being offered. The first baby step may be something you have to do, or the other guy does. I don't know. That's all for the, this, it seems like it's a saga. It seems like it's going to have many chapters. Life has many chapters. There's something here that'll go the distance. That 10 of Pentacles. Building a life with somebody. Using a new plan. I'll see you next time.